What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. I pray that everybody's having a wonderful, blessed day as we give the Most High Yah all the honor, the glory, all the praise and worship. My title now says The Creativity of My People. The creativity of my people. Brother Kendrick, History Man is your screen name on there. Very powerful email. I got it from you a while back. And this is a video response to you. First of all, let me say this off top, because with this type of video, I definitely mean no disrespect. I don't cover what color you are. I love people, period, no matter what your race is. Even though my race have always been looked down on, talked bad about, just like so many other races that we could say. Um, but what I want to do in this video is focus on us. You notice I'm not really using the term black people. I'm saying the creativity of my people. First of all, we've been taught wrong for so many years, even about the word black. First of all, black is not a race. Black is a color. We have accepted that because that's what we was taught. But I don't accept that. I always go against that because once you know better, you should do better. Once you learn better, you should do better. So that's why I want to use this title. That's why I want to explain this off top. The creativity of my people in history. We was taught white history. Or some may use the term American history, whatever that is. We was brainwashed that. But when you start studying, and tapping into the truth, you will find out mostly, brother, that everything you was taught growing up was a lie. First of all, when you look at this word history, you should see his story. History. History, but if you break down history, you see his story. Well, first of all, whose story is it? You know? This is why you can miss me with Black History Month. You can miss me with all the stuff that my people love to cry and complain about because we started trying to get equal with a satanic world system that was never designed for us. It wasn't set up for us. So why would you want to get equal with it? Equal rights, you'll never see it. Civil rights, you know where they come from. NAACP, look at who really started it. And I'm not trying to sound disrespectful in this video to disrespect none of our elders, but if a lot of our people that was older than us that have passed on, elders of ours, if they would have started learning a whole lot of what the truth was, sometime I wonder would they would have kept doing things the same way or would they would have came out of it. Because I know that a lot have passed on with JT, a lot have died for you to have the right to vote. But a lot of them that died for us to have the right to vote, they never understood that your vote really never mattered. Because you wasn't, them presidents was not voted in by your vote. They was put in place because of the bloodline, because all of them are related to each other. So as I'm piggybacking off of your email, brother, first of all, Africa, let me say this off top. Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. A lot of people think that, oh, well, JT, why Africans don't get along with black people, and it seems like they can't stand each other. There are a lot of people that don't understand that we have different tribes. Go back to the Bible and learn who you are and what tribe, where you came from. Then you will cut down a lot of confusion. But most of us will not study, as the Bible say, study to show yourself approved. And if you believe this mess about Christopher Columbus in America, then you really lost. But that's what the whole objective was, to mess with this right here, brainwash you, steal your identity so you will never know who you are and what you are. If you take away somebody's identity, then they don't know who they are, and they pretty much gonna accept whatever you tell them, black man. You see what I'm saying? But once again, I don't mean to talk like we were the only people, race of people that we the only ones that went through something. No, my intent is to bring out some points in this video to focus on a lot of things you may not know about and to enlighten you, and then you can just tell me what you think about this video, because like I say, I'm not that brother that walk around talking about, oh, the white man is the white man that. If you catch a lot of my old videos, I did one video made my people so many of us mad because I said get past blaming the white man. Take responsibility for yourself. Learn some things. It's power when you study. It's power in knowledge and when you read. And then you get that wisdom of the Most High, then it's awesome. But when you think about us, how we was done for so many years, and how so many things we came up with didn't get credit for, then they would take it. You know who the day is, steal it like they came up with it. But I want to bring out some stuff that, like I said, you may have not known about, because if you don't study it, you won't know. You know why you wouldn't know? Because they only told you a little bit when you was in school. Only a little bit. But if we would understand who we are, it wouldn't be no such thing as me fighting my brother. It wouldn't be no such thing as me down talking my sister. I would always be encouraging you, like I do anyway, lift you up. You will see the power. You will see the love. You will see the unity. You will see the creativity that I'm about to talk about in this video. You will see the joy. You will see the strength. Now, how many times? Let me just name a few people that's from the past. That some of the stuff that you using in your house, in your life, came from them. But you may have never heard about it. When you earning your clothes on that earning board, there was a sister by the name of Sarah Boone who came up with inventing that iron board, and she was born a slave girl. You see what I'm saying? But how many times when people earning do they think about, oh, I wonder who made this? Nowadays everything have advanced because you got so much technology and so many different machines on how to make things now. But when you go back in the days when before all this stuff they have out now, who created that? Hmm. There are people I know that love to earn their own clothes. And then some people hate earning their own clothes. But when you think about Sarah Boone, if she wouldn't have created what she created, how would it got started? Hmm. Now look at all the fancy home security systems that's out now. Oh, Brinks and so many different names. How, oh man, you got a camera for everything now. Look at the technology now. How you can just put your finger on your front door now without a key and it open up. Things are so fancy now. But don't you know, before all this stuff came out, there was a lady by the name of Mary Van Britten Brown in 1966. She came up with her own home security system that she did herself with a camera way back then in the 60s, because she stayed at home a lot and there was a lot of violence, things going on back then. You know how it was in the 60s. So she wanted to feel secure. So she came up with her own home security system way back then. Now, the only thing they told us in school was about, oh, the traffic light, Garrett Morgan, the 3 light traffic light, we should say. He was a son of a slave. He also made gas masks, and he had made a sewing machine. But the thing he got very famous for was that very well light, traffic light. I think back then at first it wasn't but 2. But then he came up with the yield, which was the yellow. So you add in, then you add in all three. What do we see to this day? Traffic lights. Because Garrett Morgan was the first man of our race. I believe he was from Cleveland, Ohio. He was the first one of our race of people to even own a car. You see what I'm saying? How awesome is that? But what made him want to make this light? Because he saw an accident that was so terrible. And that's when he thought about, hey, I need to do something about this. The creativity of our people. He invented the three light traffic light, I mean. Now, think about produce. How if it wasn't for refrigerated trucks, how would you keep that produce at the right temperature? You see all these beautiful trucks out now, refrigerated trucks. Well, this guy was by the name of Frederick McKinley Jones, way back in 1940. Refrigerated trucks. See, these are the things that we are never taught back in the day or even now, because let me say it like I want, most of our enemy knew that we wasn't even gonna pick up a book and read it. I'm gonna say something and don't get offended by this, because I'm gonna say it just the way it was told to me years ago. If you ever want to hide anything from a nigga, put it in the book, because they know you're not gonna read. But when you break down nigga and truly understand nigga's a term of fool. Nigga could be of any race, because it ain't really about a color. See, that's another thing, nigga. We accepted that. Now, Negro is something totally different. You should rather be called a Negro than a nigga when you really break down Negro. There's a man I love so much that passed on, and I still listen to all his dynamic teachings, which is Pastor Stephen Darby of Destined Ministries. May the Most High rest his soul. He did a powerful video teaching on Negro land. Very powerful. Very powerful. But as I'm saying these things, how many times do people, even if you have studied, recognize this stuff when you use it? It's not too many. You just happy to have the technology. But you remember how telephones was before caller ID, call waiting, and all that came out. How you couldn't click over, it wasn't no two-way, it wasn't all that, none of the stuff. You didn't know who was calling you. Well, when you look at your caller ID screen, call waiting, there was a sister of ours by the name of Shirley Ann Jackson. You see what I'm saying? She got tired of that. How do you know who calling? See, when we got caller ID, I was around before caller ID came out. That you used to just get a dial tone. What is call waiting? But then when caller ID came on the scene, they gave you a chance to look at who was calling you. Still to this day. But how many people when they look at that screen, they be like, "Boy, if it wasn't for Shirley Ann Jackson," and Shirley came up with something when she did that. But then you see these beautiful elevator doors. But at first, I wasn't. I'm just doing a little history. Automatic elevator doors, invented by a guy by the name of Alexander Miles, way back in 1887. Alexander Miles. These are the things our people came up with because of the creativity. Come on now, y'all. Creativity. A lot of people of our enemies, they knew the mindset of us. They knew how powerful our thinking is. One thing I always learned about us is we would never panic when things went wrong. We would always figure out a way how to come up with something to not panic. Just like this these tornadoes that just touched Dallas. And my wife was running back and forth around the house. Baby, what are you doing? I'm not worried. One thing I learned is not to worry, not to, not to start panicking. That's another word I want to use. Because if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But when you stay prepared, you don't really ready. I mean, you don't really worry, do you? Because worrying is a lack of faith. I know the routine of a tornado. I know how they told you to go in the bathtub, put a mattress over your head, get in the hallway, get dug down, get on the side. But really, when something hit out of nowhere, what can you really do? That's just like walking down the street when an earthquake hit. Where can you really run to if the whole sidewalk is split up? I'm not saying it to say that we don't be prepared and take cover of things. I'm saying my mindset was to never worry. My wife will tell you that he don't worry about nothing. When he was in the hospital, he don't worry about nothing. Everything he go through, he ain't worried about nothing. It's an old rap song, so I ain't worried about nothing. Nah, I ain't worried about nothing. But not to jump off and all that. When you look at your electric microphone, co-invented by who? Co-invented by James West. James E. West back in 1964. Awesome. Many people, I ain't just talking about microphones you sing in. Look at how many things got a mic in it. But just think if that was never invented. Hmm. Now, they always taught us about the light bulb. Well, that was Thomas Edison, you know. But there was also a man by the name of Lewis Latimer back in 1881. He came up with the carbon light bulb filament. But why are you saying that, JT? Yes, the light bulb itself was invented by Thomas Edison, but Lewis, oh, come on, Lewis. What did Lewis do? Lewis figured out how to make them bulbs last longer and stronger with that carbon filament. How many of y'all remember back in the day, IBM? Or do you remember how the computer monitors used to look? When you was in your old high school, or you remember the old typewriter days, but you remember how everything was just black and white. Look at your PC monitor now. But before you had all these high definition and all the flat screens they got out now, this video is so interesting and fun to me. There was a guy by the name of Mark Dean. This is before everything you got now. But Mark was the one that invented the color IBM, the PC monitor, before all this stuff that you see now. And then when you're looking at your wall clock, when you're looking at what time it is, we know everything now is digital pretty much. You also still have clocks that's not digital. But when you're looking at the time, do you think about Benjamin Banneker? No, JT, I don't know, man. I never knew that. So you saying all this stuff you talking about is this is the creativity of our people? Yes. I can go on and on and on. This is just to name a few. When you just got through washing your clothes, and you look at that dryer that your clothes go in, do you think of George T. Sampson? Hmm. Nah. What if that dryer was never invented? See, back in the day, you would wash your clothes in the sink, and then you would get them clothespins and hang them outside on the clothesline See, young folks now don't even know what a clothesline is, half of them. You see what I'm saying? But George says it's got to be a better way. Uh, you know, let me come up with, let me use my creativity on how to dry these clothes a quicker way. How many times when you sweeping the floor, do you look at there something simple as a dustpan? That was Brother Lord Ray. Lord P. Ray came up with the dustpan. When you at your Cowboys game, Big Brother JT, or anywhere when you fishing, or if you just chilling at a park and you bring your folding chair, John Pretty, or some may say Pretty, however you want to pronounce it. A brother use his creativity. Man, we got to figure out a way how to make these chairs go with us. See, the reason why I'm saying this, and like I say, this is not to disrespect or down talk no other race. This is to bring out truth in our race. When you was up under slavery, you was a slave, you had to come up with some creativity because that was hard for them back then. And the white folks, if you want to use the term white, they saw the, man, look at the power of their mindset. So they took it and stole it. They ran with it. Look what I came up with. No, you didn't. Remember the old gas heaters built in the wall. Some may say space heaters in the older houses. Oh, I think about Dearborn heater. I still got a Dearborn heater right there right now. And I look at that Dearborn heater and I say, Sister Alice H. Parker. What she do, JT? She was the one that invented gas heating furnace. But now, you know, central everything is advanced now. But when you think about those older heaters, that's Sister Alice Parker. How many of y'all love ice cream? You got tired of trying to dip it with that little spoon. Well, something as simple as even that. Was it really simple to brother Alfred back then? Alfred L. Crowley. He invented the ice cream scooper. See, the mindset of our people always has been awesome to me. We always will say a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but most of us have wasted our mind on so much junk. When you cutting your yard, that lawnmower, who was that? Brother John Albert. While I'm talking about the lawn, think about your lawn sprinkler. We need to find a better way to water this yard. Nobody want to be standing out here with no hole. Joseph A. Smith. He came up with the lawn sprinkler. But now you have sprinkling systems installed now. But what would have happened before all the technology got fancy? See who really gets the credit. Back in the day, for a long time, they didn't have a mailbox. Nobody. So somebody had to come up with, man, this is a long walk to be walking. Brother Philip Downing. Mailboxes. Every house got a mailbox now. Who came up with that? Philip Downing. When you go use your restroom, see, this video may be a little boring to a lot of people, but it's not boring to me. It's I love it because I'm getting a chance to share with you some real history about who made what that you probably won't hear too much in your elementary school, middle school, or high school. And definitely in college, you're not going to hear a lot of this. Because they teach you what they want you to know. Oh, ooh, did you hear me? They teach you what they want you to know to get you prepared for the Most High system. No, to get you prepared for this world system. That's why it's our job to go ahead and study, to learn truth. See, y'all can tell I don't just study the Bible that I love so much. I study, period, because I want to teach others so much. But when you're sitting on your toilet, reading your paper, who invented that modern toilet? Thomas Elkins. See, our sisters got tired of scrubbing those old hardwood floors back in the day, on their knees slaving with their bare hands. So there was another brother by the name of Thomas Stewart who invented the mop. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Thomas W. Stewart came out with the mop. We are very creative. Very creative. We come up with ways, we always try to come up with ways to make the hard things become easier to deal with. Just like that mop. Some people look at that mop. You can go to the dollar store and buy a mop. Man, that little shredded thing. But look at how much that mop can cover versus you on your hands and knees scrubbing. Now they got all kind of mops out now. The technology now is sky high. But something I thought about that's inside of a lot of people, a pacemaker. Do you know who came up with that pacemaker? Otis Barkin. And if I'm not mistaken, from studying back in the day, Otis had a heart attack. This man had a heart attack, so he came up with his own way of trying to figure out the heart. Look at that, brother, man. But how many times if you have a pacemaker, or if you was ever in the hospital, or if you ever went through things with your heart like I've done, thank the Most High, I've never had to put none in mine because my heart went all the way back to normal. But how many times do you think about Otis barking? Or did you even know that? Let me move on. Should I stop or keep going? I'll give you a few more. When you eat them potato chips, y'all all ought to know this. Who invented that? There was a brother by the name of George Crumb. Notice his last name was Crumb. C-R-U-M. Ain't that amazing? And what do you see in that bag of potato chips that's left over is crumbs. Thank Brother George Crumb for that. Something a lot of ladies I know that you gonna love on this next brother. Because when you think about that reversible baby stroller, think about your brother William Richardson. William Richardson invented that. And you know how the wheels are now? Oh, you better thank the Most High for that. Look at your swivel wheels now. Wheels can go all kind of ways. But what would have happened if it wouldn't have been able to turn? These are things that we are never taught that mean so much to me. Because all I heard in school was presidents. Learn your presidents. Learn whose face is on every money you looking at. But they never told us the presidents were wicked. They never told us that the presidents was related. They never told us about the Rockefellers. They never told us about the wicked. They just tried to brainwash us so we would never tap in into what's really behind the scene. Hmm. See, that's why you can't feed me no BS and think I'm gonna accept it. I remember years ago on my old job, this guy was kind of prejudiced. You could tell he was with his little jokes that he made, but see, he was messing with the wrong brother. Cause I looked at what he had on. I looked at everything that he had, and I messed his whole mindset up because he didn't know I knew what I knew. Had his fancy suit on with his suspenders, and I remember saying, "I heard how you talk about our race a lot with your little buddies." This was back when I was working for a company called Pitney Bowes Management Services back in the day. I worked for the big Exxon Mobil building, and you had to be dressed up in there. Because when he would talk, he would always laugh and pull on his suspenders. I said, "Who you think made those suspenders? Why you always talking about us? That toilet you always in the break room on. Who you think made that?" Because they would call us coons a lot. They always had many names for us. And I looked at everything he had on and everything he done. He would go sweep the break room sometime. I said, "Who you think invented that dustpan? Why you laughing? When you in that vending machine getting them potato chips with them crumbs, who do you think invented that? Why you got your little peanut butter sandwich, George Washington Carver with the peanut butter? Mm-hmm. Yeah." I say, "Why you got that pacemaker in your heart, Otis barking?" When you go home and you go check your mail in the mailbox, Joseph A. Smith, huh? I mean, not Joseph, Philip Downing. When you got your little sprinkler in your lawn, Joseph A. Smith. Oh, you can tell he was just getting red in the face. He was getting more and more red in the face because everything got called out. And he loved to drink Jack Daniels, which a white man got the credit for that. I said, "Well, who you think invented that recipe and came up with Jack Daniels before it was stole from you?" He looked at me like, "Oh, this nigga knows something." He said it just like that in his mind, and just excuse my language, but this nigga knows something. See, it's power in studying, y'all. When folk learn that you know something and they can't run no anything on you, it eats them up on the inside. Who you think invented that hot cone? I really made him mad when he kept talking about he got tired of them creditors calling him. I said, "You can look at that ID, and you can thank one of our sisters for that ID, that call ID, that you can look at and say, oh, that's a 1-800 number." See, it's beauty in every race. I love whites. If you want to say whites, I love whites. I love my Latino brothers and sisters so much. Oh, I love them so much. I don't care what color you are, male or female. Love covers a multitude of sins. I hate that they always kept us down. They always kept things hid from us. But see, it ain't no excuse now not to know who you are and what you are. It's too much information and been too much information out for you not to tap into and learn some things about yourself, about your people. They always look down on us, called us spicks and monkeys, and we filthy and this and that. But that same one, oh, she too dark, she just black and ugly. But she the one raised your white children. Mm. She the one, she was so filthy, but she stayed in your house all the time. She ugly and nasty and filthy and stanky, as you would say, but you slept with her. Mm. See, this just go to show you the power of us. You can talk all you want about us, but isn't it amazing how we always rise right back to the occasion? We rise. It's power. Because when you are chosen, can't nobody take that away from you. And if you let them, if you let the enemy win, then that's your fault. We was hated because of our skin. See, this is a real black history lesson for you. If you want to say black history, I just can't stand that word. Even when you look up the definition alone, you'll see a few positive things, but most of the things you're gonna see about black is negative. I remember that old movie Malcolm X that Denzel Washington done. He had never even looked up the word black. That man in that penitentiary opened up his eyes. But we was hated on just because of our skin. Then we was lied to about who our Savior was. They created a white image, or Caucasian, whatever you want to say. They brainwashed us so bad. And then they even wanted you to believe that a white man got on the cross for your sins. See, I'm finna really make some prejudice people mad as I close. Is it to make them mad on purpose, JT? No. It's just a statement I'm gonna make. To all the prejudiced white people, do you think they can really accept that a man of color got on the cross? Especially after all the stuff I'm saying in this video. And then I end this video by saying, no, not just color, JT. A man of color died. You telling me the creativity of all our people in this video, and then you got the nerve to close out this video saying that Christ wasn't a white man? I'm going to say Yahshua. Powerful. But once again, I don't have no problem with the white man. The ones that's like that always had a problem with me. I can't help how I was born and what color I am. I didn't ask to be here. And I don't pour out hatred. I'm pouring out love. This video is heavy in my heart. It's 4:33 in the morning. I'm wired up because I've been in tune with the Holy Spirit. But I just wanted to respond back, excuse me, brother. You know who you are with this video, out of love. Because all they show us on TV, I'm trying to wrap this video up, but this is so special to me. I know you can probably tell by the way I'm looking and the way I sound. This is special to me. And I'm going to tell you another reason why. Because I'm so sick of them putting us on TV only to show my beautiful sisters with their titties out, calling each other bitches and hoes, chasing some old ratchet dude down the street that ain't got nothing going on. That's all they want to show of us in these reality shows. We so more than that. I'm tired of all they want to show us is the dope dealer. Like that's all we know how to do in our race. He got 5 or 6 baby mamas. I'm tired of that. We are so much more than that. I'm tired of, well, you got to play a gay role. He got to dress up like a woman. They make so much money off of our ignorance and stupidity. Catch that now. Catch that. See, I'm not a stupid man of my race. I study. I love to read. And I love to study. And when I say study, that means I'm investigating. That's why it's up here. It's right here. We are so much more than what they give us credit for. But if you don't look in the mirror and understand who you are, what you are, then you just a puppet being used for their system. Sure, they got us as the athletes, make a little money, but are you really wealthy? Who signed your check? You see what I'm saying? We have invented so much stuff, and I'm just naming a few in this video. We have came up with so much stuff, and a lot of it we never got credit for. Even in the automobile, who you think created the gear shift? My mind just, see how my mind going? Because it's so much on a daily basis that we use that we don't even know that we came up with it. And once again, I'm not saying that to down no other race. I wanted to do this video like this because we are never taught about what we came up with. Yeah, everything you look at now is going to say made in China, pretty much. This is made over here, this is made over there. But what about what we made that we never got credit for? That's why the power, I'm trying to close. This is so powerful to me. May not be powerful to somebody else, but it's powerful to me. But that's why we are so creative. So creative. I gotta say this before I close. Why do you think, and just excuse my term on when I'm about to use the word nigger rigging. Y'all know what that means if you're in my race. Why do you think when they come out with something, we always know a way how to nigger rig it and go around it? You see what I'm saying? Or some may use the term bootleg everything. That mind, that mindset. Well, how did they know how to? Who taught them how to? If we made it over here, how in the world they figure out how to tap into? Pretty much everything you come out with, it's a way around it that could be tapped into. You may get in some trouble. You may get in some trouble. But out from your cable box on down, if it's made by man, it could be tapped into by man. That's why you got to be very careful with all this new technology and stuff that's out here, y'all. That's my time, man. Big brother JT finna sign off. I love y'all. And I just had to do this video that way. And once again, no disrespect to the white man, to the Latino man, to nobody, to the African man. I love you. But this video should hit us very hard because we're not taught this stuff. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. And let me say this also before I close here. We are okay down here. That them tornadoes, they was too. Man, they tore up a lot of stuff, but some of our people are down, power out, been out. Folks, probably folks, some maybe still a little bit over 4,000 people, but nobody was killed. That's the blessing. I think 3 or 4 was injured. A lot of material things got tore up, houses got tore up, but lives are still here. So we thank the Most High for that also, for that protection. It happened so fast. It's just that fast. So I love y'all, but we are safe. A lot of people, like I say, power still down. But let's just keep each other lifted up in prayer. And I love y'all, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed Tuesday. Shalom.